what you want, you fight for it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what gave me strength. I fight for every role. I fight for every blessing. I fight, and I'm willing to do the work, and I fight because I haven't really had many people here to fight for me.
Angie Martinez in Real Life podcast. This episode and conversation is powered by Duce.
Can we please do a toast and have a nerd?
All right, everybody. Can we start with a toast to the nerd? To the future Academy Award winning Teyana Taylor. Yay!
Thank you.
Oh my God, I went to the screening last night. What does everybody tell you after they saw the movie?
Oh my God, they're like literally crying, like, oh my God, you got me crying, you did your shit.
I didn't feel like that. You know
Really?
why? You know why?
What you about to say?
No, I didn't feel like that because I expected that from you.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like, and that's not to be taken for granted, because sometimes
Yeah.
you expect something from somebody and they don't deliver.
Right.
But first of all, hi and welcome to the
Hey, girl,
the
what's going
podcast.
on?
We're gonna have a little nerd. You like nerds,
Yes,
right?
yes,
I love
I
nerds.
love
Huh?
nerds.
We're gonna have a little nerd and a toast.
I also think because you know my story and what I've been through.
And I know how dope you are, so it's not surprising to me that you're this dope in the movie.
Right. But I don't even think necessarily, I think that's a lot of people's tears, but also just like the storyline and like what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But for, like people that has been in my life and know me knows it's just more of a thing like.
Why don't I have these more often?
Yeah.
These
You
are
gotta try the blue ones too. They got the.
No, I was thinking about you on the way here because
Move over a little bit.
the camera angle was right. You're such a director and
I know.
you're such a
We want to make sure we got the shot. This is amazing to have
Thank
A, B, and C
you.
cam. It's good. And
This is my baby.
Yeah, no, but that's good. People, that's where they miss. That's where they miss it. And you're trying to make it happen with one camera.
I know.
Maybe even two, not even enough. You got three.
Yeah. Well,
I see you. And you got this little B-roll.
we turned it into a little production house. This started as a
That's what I'm saying.
podcast.
I'm here for it.
And
I'm here for it.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
I really want to, we're learning a lot because I just brought in a crew the first episode and we had a lot of problems and, you've done
like
this. You
that.
know it is. You
Yeah.
got to learn as you go. And,
yeah.
But it's been going good. I'm happy with it so far.
Good. That's good.
I'm happy to have you
Congratulations.
here.
Thank you.
Yo, so to go back to my point about not being surprised that you killed this movie. I remember when I saw you, you were, I want to say, when was Google Me out? 15? You were 15, 16?
15, 16, yeah.
I had known you, but I saw you in the street one time. I told you that story.
Yeah.
At a club. And I was like, who is this badass kid? And then somebody, and I didn't realize it was the same person, but somebody was really pressing me. Like, you were like a big deal when you got signed. And it was like, come to this, you got to come to this thing, this showcase.
Yes.
And I went and I saw you, you were doing Google Me.
Yeah.
What was that? Was that Marquee?
Yes.
It was that Marquee.
I can't believe you remember that.
I don't know why I remember that.
Oh my God.
I remember random facts sometimes about
Yeah.
shit. So I went into Marquee and I was like, oh yeah, I know her. And then you started performing. I remember just looking at you like, oh no, she's like,
Not a badass kid.
she's actually dope. Like, I was trying to figure you out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because the song was cute and catchy, but it was young and
Right.
I couldn't really tell. But
And at that showcase, I performed more records that I had recorded that never seen the light of day.
yeah, but you could tell, you could tell the difference between an artist and somebody who's up there acting like an artist. You could tell the difference. And I was so excited for you and to see what was happening. And then so over the years, I've watched you and we've had interviews and I've seen you be everywhere and everything. Like
I grew up right in front of your eyes.
it's nuts. It's nuts. But so when I see you in a moment like this, it's not surprising to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
of course she bodied that. Yeah, so I was happy to see that moment for you because it feels like a real moment. Does it feel like that for you?
Yeah, it
does.
definitely feel
Yeah.
like a real moment. Like it feel like the moment, you know? I think all the tears, all the prayers, like all the weight that I thought was punishment was a big eye opener that it wasn't
What do you
punishment,
mean?
it was preparation.
Oh.
Just all the years. I mean, you knew me and knew what I did. A lot of people knew what I did. I never really had a break in like relevancy throughout my whole career because, I'm a busybody. So I'm doing this, I'm doing that, but it's like technically I wasn't necessarily like getting
The moment.
getting my things. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was not getting my things is what made me stronger and gave me more preparation to properly receive my things. You know what I'm saying? And I just don't think that I would have even given like Inez all that I've given her had I not been through the different, just the different
Ups and downs.
ups and downs. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you believe, because I always believe this, we talk about this a lot here too, it's like when it's supposed to happen, it happens in
God's
the time.
timing.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm
God's
saying.
timing.
So that time, all of those no's, or maybe just if things wasn't happening in the timely fashion I wanted to happen, that I looked at like, okay, it's not happening. It's, every time it comes to me is always something. That weight that I thought was punishment was God saying, no, baby. That was just preparation for what was already written for you in the palm of my hands. So,
I want to run through that little just real quick, because people who might not be familiar with the history and the story, it's like, even from that first time I saw you doing Google Me, right? Young girl wants to get on, has this talent, gets signed to Pharrell, gets signed to Kanye, has a big, I mean, I just remember moments where you felt like, as you from the inside must have felt like, this is the moment. Oh, this is the moment. Oh, this is the time. Watching you do that little Kim tribute. Watching you.
like even that was a moment, like
That's what I'm
but that's
saying. Like,
but imagine that's what it felt like. It felt like getting, like it seemed like every time you got to the door, it slammed in your face. That was the feeling that I was having. You get what I'm saying? Even all the way down to Fade, to do Fade and be like, this is it.
Fade was fire.
Exactly.
Another
and I
moment.
feel like right after Fade, album should have dropped. You get what I'm saying? Like it was just, it was always something. So I was like, what were these moments and who were these moments really for? Clearly these moments are bigger than me.
Who were they for? Do you know?
I don't know.
Oh, not
Because
for you.
I just know when Fade came out, it definitely probably should have been an album, a rollout. It just should have been preparation for something. You get what I'm saying? And like even when Fade came out, I told you I didn't know that it was dropping. I think probably like the day of, I still didn't really all the way know. I didn't know. I wasn't even there. I watched myself on a VMAs have one of the biggest moments of my career, sitting on my couch in Atlanta watching the VMAs.
And what's happening inside? Is that anger? Is that disappointment? Is that...
You know what's crazy? It wasn't even, I don't even think that it was anger. It may have hit a little later because I think I was also trying to still process everything. You got to understand, when that video came out, my life literally changed overnight, but it wasn't something I hadn't seen before. I've had moments where, it'd be a lot of static, a lot of traffic, but this one, of course, was the biggest one. So my phone was ringing immediately.
Is that what you credit as? That's what you think is one of them?
I think it's one of the biggest moments of my career. Absolutely. It changed my world. It changed my life. Like what Faye did for me, I guess as an artist, is like what this movie is doing for me as an actress. Like Faye showed like, oh, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
she's
it was an
different.
eye opener.
Right.
Like it was an eye opener.
Yeah.
I wasn't signed to a model agency before Fade. I didn't have none of those kind of things, So, and I've always, done other stuff, but like even as many endorsements as I have, or the gym memberships going up, and like just moments like that. That was another eye-opening moment for the world.
I wonder if this happened to you because, and you've been in the game for a long time, but you're still young. You're still at the beginning of a new thing right now and in this moment right here. But do you feel like, because we have these dreams and we're young and we're like, yo, when I get that, or if you're at a certain weight and you're like, oh, when I get to that weight, I'm gonna be happy. Or when I get this deal, I'm gonna be happy. When I get a song, and you've had so many of those almost like false starts.
And this is what I'm saying. That's the part, that's like getting on a roller coaster and take you up before that big drop and it gets stuck. So if you don't take me down, get me off this motherfucker. Take me to my destination, where the hell we gotta go? You know what I'm saying? That's how it felt. Like, well, Gonna Love Me. Look how big Gonna Love Me could have really been. Don't get me wrong, like, I'm almost double platinum, but that was something that I did. You know what I'm saying? So imagine, like, So when people say, oh my God, but it did this, it did that, but it's like, imagine if it really had that push.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like I dropped like great albums that just haven't had the push,
So
you know?
two things I'm curious about that is, number one, how do you not lose that shit, that fire, that thing that still makes you want to fight for that? Like, at any point do you feel just like, fuck it, why do I keep doing this? It's clearly not meant to be. Like, do you ever get in your head that way?
Yeah, I have those moments, but the great thing about how I handle myself is I have that moment, and once I let it all out, I then have my conversation with God. And I'm like, just breathe into me, Lord. You know, I'm just
Yeah, what is that?
wanting him to breathe into me. Just my ministries, you feel what I'm saying? And having that balance. And I think that's the amazing part about having a relationship with God, because I think people think it's just like, okay, get on your knees, put your hands together and say a prayer, you know? And I think it's really about just having real conversations with him. But also doing your studies. You know, I stay in my Bible, I do. I have a physical Bible. I have a Bible app that gives you like a verse of a day, verse of the day. Every day is prayers on there, and it's like different topics. So anxiety, love, you know, pride, like literally any and every word you can think of, you click on that word and it's a prayer for it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that, just listening to gospel music, like, but records that really, you know, like Fred Hammond, like Breathe Into Me, Lord, like that's my shit. Sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. Excuse my language.
The Lord knows your heart.
I know. Yeah, he knows my heart. But that's what I mean, even about having real conversations with him.
Yeah.
Like, I done got up in a conversation with him tight. You know, like, I made it hit him with a yo. Like, yo, Father, like, what's my journey? Like,
what are we doing?
What you want me to do? Like, what's my higher calling? Like, am I here? Like, what do you see for me? You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what makes it great, because he knows your heart and he knows that you are trying. And it's easier to continue to build a relationship with God when you keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And you're not trying to, you're not doing what you see on TV or what the church is necessarily telling you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I could feel like, okay, cool, I can go on and do an interview with Angie because it's a safe space. If I feel like you a safe space, imagine what I feel with God. Ooh. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the most
vulnerable, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and just literally, like, Jesus died for our sins, you know what I'm saying? For us, because we're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? So I have raw, honest conversations with God, and I think that's what gets me through. And I feel like I do get answers quicker rather than trying to do it the way
Do you feel like the answers come quick?
Absolutely.
Like, how quick? Like, tell me a time.
When I'm not trying to chop my head off, you feel what I'm saying? Like, that right there, like how I can go from like letting everything out, or feeling like, you know what, I'm done with all this shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, let me just take a beat, step back. Father God, what's up? What we doing? Because I'm going to a place I don't want to go. What we doing?
And you see it. What happens?
Just feel it. You feel it, because then there you go. I go and open up my Bible, open up my app, or, you know, throwing that Yolanda, you know, or you just, it's little things you got to do. Like I said, even all the way to Sundance, like to be able to, even in the moment of joy, you know, soaking everything in. It's the same process. If you can go to him when you upset and you're sad, you can come to him, you know, when he's answering your prayers. So it's the same thing. Like, I shower listening to my gospels and my ministries. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm like in hair and makeup, like crying, because I'm like, yo, life is lifing for the best. Like, you know, like I'm thriving and I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed. So like a lot of times I'll be crying, but like, yo, like, Lord, like, thank you. Like, you really fire. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can just feel him laughing. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, you asked for it. You asked for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's ever been a time you've doubted him?
No.
Even in the
Never.
ups and downs of
That's
this?
why I thought the wait was punishment, and there would be a lot of questions. I could never, you know? I also have like, my whole family don't play that. Like, we're all God-fearing, you know what I'm saying? My grandparents is in the ministry as well. So it was never a time too, because if I try and call my mom or call my aunt venting or call my nana venting, like call my granddad venting, all right, let's say a prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't.
That's
say
the answer.
that.
That's the answer to the problems.
It's crazy because it's almost like mind over matter. There's been times where, like, I will physically be in pain and call my nana, and like just the power of prayer be like feeling better. The pain might come back a little later, but just in that moment, just the power in prayer and the power in knowing that, you know, everything's gonna be okay. You know?
That's so good.
Yeah.
Does this ever happen to you? Because I was doing something recently. I had a partner, and there was some company that was like interested to do this project, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Let's see where this plays out." He was so excited. No, they want to fund this thing that you want to do, and I'm like, "All right, cool. That's good. Let's keep talking to them." He was like, "Why you don't get excited?" I was like, "Because I've heard this a few times."
Ooh, you sound like me.
That's what I'm saying. I wonder for you that, because I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being like, all right, this is cool.
Oh my God.
But I don't get as younger me.
You're not easily impressed no more. I said that earlier. That's the first thing I said when we opened this up. Yes.
Take me to the finish line, and then I'm grateful.
Exactly.
But take me to the finish line. But I wonder for you then, it's in that idea is like when you're having this beautiful moment and you have this beautiful performance, and people are talking about awards and how this is going to change your career. Are you almost afraid to fully embrace that, or are you all the way in on it?
This was the first time in my career that I was able to fully embrace what was happening.
I love that for you.
And I've been in the industry for 15 years. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I got to that place where I just wasn't easily impressed. I couldn't get excited because I wanted to go to the finish line, you know? Like, cool, I understand this is a high right now and I'm up, but like, let's see what this big drop is gonna be on this roller coaster, you know? Like, let's see where this takes us, because it's just like, I need to know. So yeah, I got to a point where I just wasn't excited about things. My mom be like, well, why are you not excited? Cool, I'm blessed, I'm thankful. I'm always thank him, I'm always praise him. But like, yeah, this reaction y'all looking for, yeah, it's probably not. Maybe it was a defense mechanism or just being nervous or being afraid, you know? Yeah, just being afraid. But this was the first time that I've been able to really like, you know, take it in, because it almost felt like a clean slate. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm able to embrace it, because at this point, the movie could be a box office sellout, or it could have, you know, one person in the theater. But to know that I possibly have given like an award-winning performance is enough for me. You know, it opened up a lot more yeses for me. Yeah. You know, I went from a lot of no's, and all I ever wanted people to do was give me that one little yes that would show the world what I got, and no one would give it to me. So
they didn't see you hit him with the Byron? They didn't see the Byron?
But that it's all been funny stuff.
No,
Nobody seen me in a dramatic role.
Nah, you're right.
Like, it wasn't nothing that would make people be like, okay, cool, like I can trust her with this. You get what I'm saying? And if I did get a lot of movie roles, I had to be the hot girl. I had to be,
sassy,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's just.
It was cool though. You bodied those.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna do my job.
Yeah.
All right? Mama gonna do a job. I'm gonna do my job.
How much so then where does it shift like what you're chasing in your life? Because I would imagine like young you chasing like, it's not even fame. It's right. I don't want to speak for you, but what I get from you is like, you're chasing this like level of success in with using your talents, right? Like even in this moment, what does this moment mean, and what do you hope it means moving forward?
I mean, the moment, I'm just basking in it, you know, like, and honestly, I ain't gonna front, like I'm so occupied and just being so thankful. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to describe because this is something I prayed for and been waiting for. And you know me, being in the industry for as long as I've been in, like, and being signed to who I was signed to, I've been around the biggest of the biggest. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I had already worked with Beyonce when I just got signed to Pharrell, and working with Beyonce, like her even asking me, like, what's your situation? You know? I would never forget that day.
What do you mean?
Because I had just signed with Pharrell, and I had worked with her on the Ring No Alarm video, and I sung for her and her mom on the elevator. Because, you know, I was just getting put on, but I had
you was sassy and not scared.
Yes, and yeah, Beyonce loved that because, like, you know, I was young, but I walked in like full of life. I was like, hey, everybody, I'm Teyana. Like, oh, she loved it. She loved it, you know? So it was just like, you know, after we got the work done and we kind of like just had a moment to like wind down, she was like, what's your situation? Like, are you signed? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, I'm signed to Pharrell. I just signed to Pharrell. She's like, is the ink dry? And I was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like, honestly, like, you know, she's been so supportive. Like anytime I would run into her, like she always knew everything that I had going on. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's just like true woman empowerment because, you know, that was one of the main things of what really pushed me to my limit as far as like when I even went to retire. Because I always felt like, you know, we scream and yell and holler about women empowerment, but we're not really empowering one another behind closed doors. Like at this point, women empowerment is for an aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? So to come in the industry at 15 to a Beyonce and then also have, you know, all the women in my life be extremely affectionate. All I knew was that, was love and affection. So I had it from my family and then I had it from Beyonce. You feel what I'm saying? No, real shit.
Yeah.
So even that, I feel like Beyonce plays a big part in like what shaped me into being as like graceful as I am within the industry. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's just like, she gave me genuine love, you know what I'm saying? And she didn't know I was signing for Pharrell, none of that. She was like, what's up? What we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like
She saw something. She saw the thing that people see in you.
Exactly. So it's like going into the industry, you know, just doing for everybody, showing up for everybody, like styling for everybody, choreographing for everybody, you know, designing for everybody, you know, writing for everybody. Half the stuff never even been credited for, and I'm fine with that. But when I call on you for a little bit of help and it's not reciprocated, that's the part that hurts. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like a lot of people that I called for my albums, a lot of people that I called for different things was ghost.
Quiet.
You feel what I'm saying? So it was hard for me to process that because like I said, I'm coming from Beyonce, the biggest star in the world, and show genuine love and genuine woman empowerment.
You expected that from everybody.
I did.
Yeah.
But that's like, you know, that's like if your first boss is super nice, you're gonna think like, this is how it is.
It's not.
You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. And I had to learn that, and I'm okay with it. That's why you don't ever see me on Instagram rants, Twitter rants. I keep to myself and I stay to my family. You know what I'm saying? Like I mind my business. I love being unproblematic. Like I don't get in nobody's business.
How has being how has family life, wife, mom, how has it all changed in terms of, I don't know, what your drive was, what you were trying to accomplish?
I feel like it made me go harder.
Really?
I mean, yeah, when you got kids and a family, you're not playing about that. Cause now you playing with my time.
Right.
Time I don't have. I got PTA meetings and, you know, like, you know, it's Junie, she's at that age where, you know, she wants to go to ballet or, you know, and just all types of stuff. It's things that she want to do. It's time to be a mommy. So I want to make sure that my time is being well utilized if I'm going to step away from being mom.
That, I mean, really, is there a fire outside? They're aggressive today with the horns. Sorry, baby. What's on your mind? I feel like something's on your mind right now. You okay?
Yeah.
You just went somewhere.
Yeah. No, I'm good. Just thinking.
You went somewhere on me just now.
No, I'm just thinking. That's what I'm saying. I do be having like random moments of the day where I really just, I hate how cliche it sounds, but like I really just be thinking about everything. Like I'm so thankful. You know what I'm saying? Like I do be having them times where I just will zone out and just really think about life and like just where I am, you know?
Tell me that though. Like break that down. What is that? What does that mean?
I've been dealing with a lot of shit that I really cannot explain. It's a feeling more than it is something that is expressible, you know? Like it's just, yeah, I will have these random times. I'll just stop and just like, thank God, you know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I just be getting stuck, I'll be like, damn, I'm really, even just sitting here and just like talking about life. You know, when you talk about life, you start to think back to different times and, you know, to think about a lot of people that have been defeated by their demons. You know what I'm saying? Because you got people that are defeated and you got people that defeat. And I've been lucky enough to be able to defeat rather than be defeated. You know what I'm saying? With all the distractions and all the things that the enemy try and throw your way during your faith walk. So just even think about that, like just how many times God has shielded me, protected me because he knew that he was preparing me for something. So don't go fucking up your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like off of impulse, you know what I'm saying? And temporary anger. Don't go making no permanent decisions with temporary anger and temporary feelings and, temporary thoughts because that's the enemy. That's the enemy's job, to distract you. And sometimes they'll send people closest to you to do that. So becoming a mom has taught me patience and gave me literally the purest, most genuine love ever. You feel what I'm saying? Like
I
kids are
do.
literally, it's the purest. They come out of you to give you nothing but love.
It changes you, right? Like
It does, because for a long time I didn't even feel like beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter.
really?
It didn't matter how many
Even
people
as
told me
the
that
time you got to the time you were a mom, you were already like Teyana Taylor.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Everybody fight their own little quiet battles. You know what I'm saying? And granted, I may be Teyana Taylor, but I may not have been what they felt like the standard of beauty was when I was in the industry. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know, but it's just like having a kid tell you you're beautiful just hit different. You know what I'm saying? Because one, kids are very honest. So it's like, being a mom has like really built my self-esteem in a lot of ways.
Talk to me about that time though, because I think people looking at you could probably think they can't even imagine that. Like,
I
what
also
would
think about it too. When I was younger, I got teased for having a deep voice or my lips being big. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I got teased for all that. So coming into the industry and people say, "Oh, voice mad deep," da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you dealing with kind of some of the same stuff you was dealing with coming up, then to you it seems to be true. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's a weird thing. That's what I'm saying. I feel like we're talking about a lot of shit that I never really talk about. I kind of I chuck it up and I keep it pushing. I've done it all of my life, literally all 32 years of my life. I've literally kept it pushing. So it's just like, that's why I'm like, it's really hard to get into a lot of things or even just try and break down what I'm trying to say, because it's all within, it's all feelings, whether it's good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a hard thing because I don't really talk about it.
I think those are the things that connect us, right? Because I think, like, I went to dinner the other night with a friend that I've been in the business with. He's been in the game as long as me. And we see each other, we show love. You probably have mad people like this. You and I are kind of probably like that. Like, we always show love. You always felt like I got love for you, right? But we never really sat, like, so it's just a friend like that. Somebody I knew and respect. We had dinner, and he's in the middle of going through something real, like super real. And we start sharing, like, some of the shit that's going on in our real lives. And I just was like, I know this dude for 30 years. I never realized that we have, like, some of the same challenges. Him and my man had some of the same challenges. Like, sometimes I think we all see each other. We cross each other in paths in the streets, even family members.
Yeah.
Oh, that's my cousin. He loves all that. But they don't know when you wake up in your low moment, like what your demons are, or what you talk about having demons. But, like, I think of people watching this or people sitting home that are in the trenches of that type of shit, like, and need to feel like they're not by themselves.
Yeah, they're definitely not by themselves. I think that's why our nest is important, but also why it is important to share it, because, there's demons all around. There's demons in human form. There's demons. That's the enemy. That is the distraction. So a demon can just be something as small as a distraction. You know what I'm saying? So we're all fighting a battle. We're all fighting demons. That's why I said it's about who is being defeated versus who is defeating. I defeat them motherfuckers. I'm not playing with y'all. You feel what I'm saying? Because my God is stronger.
What do you think has been your real life biggest demon or distraction that you've had to, like, constantly check? I know that's a heavy one, but
I guess, like, how I let things affect me, because I go into everything with just so genuine and, like, with so much love. So I ain't gonna front, like, I had a point in time where I would get in my feelings about everything. Argue with whoever. You gonna know how I feel. I'm gonna keep it a bean. You can deem me as difficult. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna play me.
Is that because people hurt your feelings? Or
absolutely. Yeah. You know, like I've gotten my feelings hurt. But I think also like just also having a bit of like abandonment issues. You feel what I'm saying? And just want to feel protected and want to feel safe. And I think that that's what hurt with them being in the industry and being signed to certain people that I looked to for protection and kind of like allow whoever else to do whatever with me. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't know, it's a lot.
What is the abandonment issues from? Because your family is around.
Yeah, but my mom was a single parent. My biological pops was in jail for like 13, 14 years of my life. 13, maybe something like that. And so even with that, you know, before my mom found true love and happiness, which is Bo, love, Bo Money. It's my pops.
Thank God, not everybody has a good
you know what I'm saying?
stepdad
Like,
story.
yeah, that's my boy. That's another one of my dogs. If I say you my dog, like I fuck with
Forever.
you. You know what I'm saying? And that's who Bo is. But like before, you know, Bo really came around and we got super duper close. You got to think about it, like coming from that, not really having a dad, and then you know, another figure in my life wound up getting murdered. You know, the closest thing.
You were how old when that happened?
Huh?
How old were you when that happened?
I had to be about, and this is why my pops was still locked up. So I had to be probably about like 11 or 12. My mom's fiance at the time was murdered, and that shit just took me down. You know what I'm saying? So my biological pops coming out of jail, us trying to build a relationship, we just kept clashing. We just were clashing because it's like you got out thinking you was about to like tell me how this shit run. And it's like, bro, you've been locked up for dumb long. You don't even know how to work the steering wheel. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't even know how to work the captain chair. What the fuck is you talking about?
Were you
like,
calling
what?
him dad or were you not? No. First name?
But the crazy part about it is I wanted that figure so bad that yes, when he first got out, I was excited to say dad until he got me fucked up a little bit. You feel me? So then it was just like getting signed to a man, you know, it was like a figure to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, like, you know, I looked at these people like figures, you know what I'm saying? Whether it was as a dad or as a brother, it didn't matter. So it was like, you didn't see me, when you didn't hear me, you didn't protect me, you just kind of just like fed me to the wolves type shit without probably even knowing, you know what I'm saying? And those were, you know, some of those conversations still need to be had.
I was going to say, will you personally, I mean, you share whatever you want to share today or not share, but will you at some point in your life, because you don't want to hold on to nothing. Like, I don't know if you've already with some of those figures had these like honest conversations about how it's affected you and how it hurt you or.
I had a really, 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 really deep and honest conversation with Pharrell. Because, you know, that he was the first person to sign me. And, you know, he was skateboard P, I was skateboard T. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was, you could not tell me that wasn't my pops. You feel me? Like, and I really, like, looked
Did he
up to
know
him.
that, though?
Yeah, you know what's crazy? He didn't have kids at the time. And he wanted kids. And he would be like, yo, she called me her pops. Like, he was really proud of that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But could he really understand what that meant, though? Like, knowing what you've been through with your pops and how triggering.
No, yeah, he didn't know any of those things. You got to think about it. Like for me, walking in, I was really like his baby twin. You know what I'm saying? Like we both, from the day we met, had on damn near the same fit. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, oh yeah, she really little me. You feel what I'm saying? Like that's really my little nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And he was, you know, like a figure to me in some sort. You know, so it's just like to hold you at such a pedestal. And, you know, at the same time, you know, he's not confrontational at all. He's literally one of the sweetest people in just the whole wide world. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't that he didn't protect me. I just think a lot of hands started going into the cookie jar. You feel what I'm saying? And he didn't, you know, like P. Like, he not about to be like, no, all y'all niggas back up. You feel me? Like, you know, maybe he was hurt about some things. Or maybe, you know what I'm saying? You don't know. Maybe it could have been a thing of pride and ego at the time. We don't know. To me, as a 15-year-old, was you didn't protect me. You let everybody mishandle me. You know what I'm saying? When I signed to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and you let everybody get in the way. You let everybody break us apart. You didn't protect me, you know? So
Did he understand that? That's like probably so hard for him to hear that.
It took me a long time to express. Like I said, you gotta think about, even though I'm saying all of this is not things that like I showed. You get what I'm saying?
No, because you had the tough exterior of any young girl
I
who'd
was
been
also
hurt.
I'm gonna get my job done. That's why I say I'll bitch more and holler to my personal friends, my mom or whatever, but I'm gonna get the job done, you know? And I just recently shared that with him, and I wanna say it might have been like right after Fade came out. That's what made it even doper, because for me, I was at the top when that shit came out, you know? And I love that I was able to just like share that with him during a high, you know what I'm saying? And not like hitting somebody up while you're angry and sitting around somewhere bitter. Nah, it wasn't that. So I was like in a super like just poised, graceful place to just kind of like let him know just how proud I was of just us. You know what I'm saying? Like how far we've come. So it was never a thing of like, yo, I feel away. It was really like, yo, I want to let you know I really love you and I appreciate, you know, that's what it was. You know, I be basking in my blessings, I do. And I be having the moments where I just think, and I'm like, damn, like, no matter how I felt when I was younger, like, none of these doors would have ever opened if it wasn't for P. So one thing about me is I just know how to give thanks, you know what I'm saying, to the people who has blessed me. So it's like, with him is why I hold him on such a high pedestal, because I didn't have a dad, you know what I'm saying? And he enjoyed me bragging about him, like, you know, calling him dad, because
It probably hurt
maybe
him.
something that he wanted, you know what I'm saying? He wanted kids at the time really bad, and maybe he was in whatever space he was in, but it was clearly an emotional space for the both of us. And it's just, I don't know, my mom always told me to be grounded, and just be thankful for people that are blessings to me. So it's just like, even, it doesn't matter if I was hurt. I was a mom, so I had learned patience, I learned grace, I learned, you know? So it's just like, I was really hitting him up to just like say thank you. You know what I'm saying? For everything. Because also knowing him as well as I know him, it wasn't the thing that you did on purpose. You didn't purposely not protect me. You know what I'm saying? It might have been a thing where you know, he's so gentle, you know, and just kind of just like let everybody push him out the way. And I guess for me, that 15-year-old, that girl just needed you to fight a little harder. You know what I'm saying? Needed you to maybe push, even if you didn't have the strength to. I just needed you to push for me more. You know what I'm saying? So that being my first experience, and then going on with life and just constantly receiving disappointments or just a lack of protection, a lack of fight, you know? Which maybe even like run over into why I'm able to have a healthy communication, why it's certain things I don't play about. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you need to fight. This is what you want, you fight for it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what gave me strength. I fight for every role. I fight for every blessing. I fight, and I'm willing to do the work. And I fight because I haven't really had many people there to fight for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I got my mom that was there to fight for me, but we both learn in the industry as we go. And because she's a woman in the industry, she's considered a problem for knowing too much. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I think the abandonment issues are, showing up for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And people not really.
Isn't it crazy how like a moment like that could and you probably, even in the time, you were probably angry because things didn't go the way you wanted, but like when you realize how much it like affected the young girl and why. It wasn't just because you were disappointed in the business.
But this is why I also don't do a lot of interviews, because it's just like, I don't, you know, I don't like to have people in the group chat. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
I get it.
You know, I love staying to myself, and I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Like, I don't like this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I know, I can tell. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't want to push you too far.
No, it's cool. I don't, but
here's
I do want to give him his flowers, because even at that time when I finally expressed to him the things that I had felt, it was so genuine and it was so sweet. Like, I wasn't even angry. Like I said, I was in a moment of like, because at that time I did feel like once Faye came out, like it did feel like a moment for me. I was basking in all of my blessings, and I knew that I could not continue to bask in that without reaching out to the person who made everything all possible. You know what I'm saying? So I hit him up on some like thankful shit, and I just didn't expect for it to hit him the way that it hit him, you know? And it was apologies, and it was, you know what I'm saying? It was accountability, and, you know, it's no need to get into detail about the conversation, but it was accountability most importantly. And I think that is the part that's just like, you know, like.
Free you?
Huh?
Did it free you of like?
It did. It freed me to actually hear his side. It freed me to not judge him based on maybe what I judged him at 15. That's what I'm saying. Like, becoming a mom and becoming a wife and learning communication and learning that, you know, the same way you're going through something and dealing with things, it's another side, you know, it's not just you.
Did that conversation help you? I know things are sensitive, so I want to be careful how I ask this, but did that help you in as the having grown up disappointment in your career? You know what I mean? Did you take it as hard when things maybe didn't work out the next time as you did with that time, or?
I must say that, you know, when I decided to depart from Good Music, I mean, not Good Music, decided to depart from Star Trek, you know, it was a hard conversation. He didn't want me to go, but I just felt like I needed to explore myself, I needed to find myself, you know? I signed up when I was 15. I got out of the contract when I was like, what, 22? Maybe like 21, 22. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't understand, that's a long time, you know what I'm saying? And you trying to like figure out life, and you're just like, I'm coming of age, you know, I'm becoming a young woman. It's like, I gotta figure this out, you know? Like, I gotta figure it out. And it was hard because it was also one of the last conversations that I had with Jay Ice Pick, you know? So that's a tough one. That was my boy.
Yeah.
So, you know, leaving that and then going to a session, because me and Ye were already like kind of like fashion buddies or whatever. And I remember coming to a session so we can just kind of just talk about clothes. And he had playing "Can You Get Much Higher," that song. And I was singing. He was like, "Oh, nigga, you know how to sing for real, for real. Like, can you go and do something?" That's how I got the opportunity to get on that song. And I remember him asking like, "Yo, what's your situation? Like, what's up? Like, let's get it popping," you know? And I thought, and then once again, he's a genius, you know? I'm like, okay, cool. Like, maybe this is like the new age Star Trek, because that's what it was at the time, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like, okay, like I'll figure it out.
Music.
Yeah, this is good music now. So now I'm like stepping into another situation after I just got out of something very difficult. So it's like relationships, you know?
That's what I'm like.
Stepping out of one thing and going into another. But me, I've always respected the people that's come before me. I've always respected, you know, just creative people. So I'm not looking at it like no type of way. I'm looking at it like, you know, like he's a fucking genius. He's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because the first day I met Pharrell to sing to Pharrell, him and Kanye was in town to do their record #1 on like Good Day, New York or something like that. But so that's crazy how that was a full circle moment. But, you know, yeah, to sign to Ye, once again, I think I was looking for, you know, the protection, and I thought that maybe he would get it right. No, like, oh yeah, Kanye, you my dad. Nah, nigga, we ain't doing it. It wasn't giving that.
I was going to say from 15, Teyana, to that age.
Yeah,
no. How old are you then?
It was,
22, 23?
Yeah,
Like,
But it was, when I say protection, I don't mean just like on some father figure shit.
You want to
just protection within the industry. This is a dirty game. This is an industry full of fucking wolves. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm leaving one thing to go into another, you know, like no matter where you go, when you go into a train station, you go into a radio interview, everybody wants to feel safe. They want their surroundings to feel safe. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like to jump into another situation where it wasn't, even just the Fade thing hurt more, because it's like, well, who was Fade really for? And even by the time Fade came out, I had been signed to Good Music for a lot of years, you know? And one thing about me is I'm a workaholic. I work my ass off. So it ain't like, you know, when people like, yeah, because you know, that person never got ahead because, ooh, they had a bad attitude.
That's not you.
That's not me.
Even your work ethic is like.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's
We were
like
talking
I'm
about this
literally-
before. Like you show up on time for stuff.
Yeah,
like you
I'm-
take work ethic.
I take it very serious. Like my time management is impeccable. Even during concerts, I will curse my whole staff. I don't like being late for my shows. I don't like being late anywhere. You feel what I'm saying? So it was never a thing where it was like, oh, her attitude or this has held her back. I did everything. I did my own mood boards. I styled myself. I dressed myself. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot. I was really saving the label a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it's like the little that I'm asking for, it really should not be a problem, you know? So it's like when Faye came out, I was like, yo, like, who is this really for? You know what I'm saying? Like, who is
When
it?
do I get my moment? You had to be thinking like,
When do I get my moment?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like I said, I'm very grateful for everyone that's been put into my life. Kanye has still, you know, provided life-changing opportunities. And, you know, I'm so grateful, you know what I'm saying? But I still feel like, you know, that is the conversation that definitely needs to be had, you know? But that's another reason why I don't like interviews, because people would try and like bring up my frustrations with my rollout or whatever to try and like use it as a let's hate Kanye train. You feel what I'm saying?
Do you feel like you're at a point now, because you were looking for Pharrell to protect you or Kanye to protect you, but I'm wondering if you have changed your perspective about who is here to protect you.
I definitely changed my perspective. After the Pharrell and Kanye thing is when I had to take accountability and really continue to build an even stronger relationship with God.
I feel like that. I feel like, I don't know, just, I see you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry if that makes you go. I don't know why I feel emotional about that too, but like.
No, it's just, you know, it's a lot of things I just haven't talked about. And I think also another thing about it is my family and I have done so well for ourselves that it's almost a thing of like, oh yeah, Teyana's good. Like I don't think anybody ever really got the opportunity to dive into me because everybody's just genuinely so happy for me. And that's what I do love. Like the industry, like, well, the people, like the world has been so supportive of like me and my family, and they love on me and my family so much that I think that has never really been a real looking, you know? So it's like I said, it's
Like,
just
is she
always been,
okay?
Yeah, it's just always been like so overwhelmed and like just being great that is never really, I don't talk about much, you know what I'm saying? Like I do keep a lot of things bottled up. So it's like, just this whole press run for Inez has been like heavy for me because.
Really?
Yeah, because Inez has been therapeutic for me. You know, it was the first time I was able to like put my cape to the side, like put my mom cape to the side, put my super strong woman cape to the side and just really have a moment of
I hate that
weakness.
that we have to wear
you know
that
what I'm saying?
cape all
Yeah,
the
because majority of the time, you know, us being strong women is not by choice. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like to go to set 12 hours a day and be able to just like pour out and cry out loud. Every single emotion you seen in the movie was real. You know what I'm saying? It was real. So when they yelled cut, I knew that it was time to go back home and put the cape back on and be okay and be perfect and be, you know what I'm saying? And then to the world, you know, everybody's just like, you know, they show so much love. And of course you want to inspire people and different things like that. So it's like a lot of these things, my mind and life has been so occupied, even just with my love for my husband and, you know, my family, my babies. I've been so occupied that I never really had the time to really dive into maybe things that have been traumatizing. You know, I guess I never visited those traumas. And I think promoting this movie is only like, it's been stirring up even just childhood trauma. It's been stirring up a lot of things that I just been able to so wellly like keep to the back burner, and it's all kind of coming to the forefront.
Also, you're a tough girl.
Yeah.
So whenever you probably feel intimidated or you feel like vulnerable, you probably kick into like Harlem. You know what I'm saying? So people.
But that's another thing that I do kind of feel like is maybe a little bit misunderstood. I'm actually just really an egg. I look hard, and then you just kind of tap me on the table a few times, and I'm just yolk. You know, like that's me. You know, and I do
love
feel like,
that about you. So, but when I
yeah.
tell you I see you today, I see that.
Yeah,
and it
like,
doesn't make you soft.
I'm actually
I see that.
I'm very gentle.
It's beautiful
but I've
to
been
see
judged.
that.
Yeah, I've been judged of like people just thinking like she aggressive, she hard, so I know she probably over there, and it's just like I've been judged off that. What people probably think that I was doing, or probably think I said, or what was easy to believe, and it's like I'm actually like a fucking ball of marshmallows. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
Most
so
people are,
soft,
by the
you know
way.
what I'm saying? But
Women
I'm
especially.
forced to be in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? Just being a Black woman navigating life.
And then this world, this industry too.
Yeah, so I'm
But,
saying the world of industry is dirty. You know, it's a lot. And I do want to just clear up one more thing. Like I'm very, very grateful for Kanye, you know, and Pharrell. You know, I'm really happy that me and Pharrell was able to have a conversation, and hopefully the next thing is, you know, Kanye, because it's definitely a talk that needs to be had, and an accountability that needs to be taken just from some brother to sister shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
By the way, I don't feel like you acknowledging that something hurt you or disappointed you equals you got beef with somebody.
I just don't.
I know
don't
the
like
world
to-
is, and
but
unfortunately,
I just don't like to kick people down while they're down. And I'm not saying that Ye's down, but like, he got so much going on. You feel what I'm saying? I don't need this to be another thing that's like, you know, and I want to be there for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to protect you. So I'm a warrior, and that's what it was. I've been a soldier on every single label, the most loyal, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the most loyal niggas on a squad. And that's one thing that I could proudly, rightfully brag. Like when I would curse I'd be like, nigga, I'm the most loyal nigga on the team. You playing with me. You feel me? But he really got to respect it because I am. You feel me? And don't get me wrong, like, you know, everybody got but I'm definitely one of them ones. You feel me? So it's like when I'm looking for that, like, how do you reciprocate that to your soldiers? How do you reward your soldiers for, you know what I'm saying? Like holding this shit down, holding this shit together gracefully. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel like I deserve, you know, a conversation, and you know, accountability needs to be taken so we could just like move past it. But it is a lot of questions that I have.
I love that you want to get to it too.
Yeah.
When
That's
it's
as a mom, you
when
know?
it's time.
Yeah, but that's what I learned from marriage and being a mother. And you have to have the patience to be willing to have that conversation and say, okay, cool, let's just lay it all out, you know? Because that time that I may have thought you shitted on me, you may have been really going through some shit. You know what I'm saying? But I want to know that. So I can take accountability as well and say, okay, cool, maybe I should have handled that differently. One thing I don't run away from is accountability. I'm quick with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't mind that. I'm prideless, I'm egoless when it comes to the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I think it's hurtful, because it's like, you know, these people I have real life bonds and relationships with. So it's like, have compassion and give me the things that I need. You know what I'm saying? Because then when I'm ready to go, everybody want to work it out. But it's like, we don't get to work it out and act like this didn't happen. Before we can move forward, we have to,
Yeah.
you know, we gotta iron this shit out. We can't go into the room with a wrinkled shirt.
I like that. In real life, what are you most proud of about yourself?
In real life, I'm most proud of motherhood. I'm proud of my babies. It was the first real heavy decision that I made for myself. Like, I remember feeling like how Lauren felt in her record, Zion. You know, like, look at your
that
career.
song. It's so-
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, use your head. What are you doing? Like, this could da-da-da-da. And I remember not letting anybody back me into a corner. And I followed my heart, and it was the best decision I ever made. And my second favorite was, once again, following my heart when I decided to retire. And I remember I got knocked into a corner. Do you know what this could do for you? Da-da-da. You know what can happen? Da-da-da-da. And it wound up being, as we sit here talking about Oscar buzz, you know, wound up being the best. I've realized what I'm most proud of is like following my heart. You feel what I'm saying? And making a decision that I feel like is best for me, because it hasn't stirred me wrong yet. So that's what I'm definitely most proud of.
And then, so like from your real life, in real life, what do you hope people, like even this conversation, or just how you've chose to live your life and the art you've made, what do you hope that people take away from that for their own lives?
I mean, I hope I'm able to show people what real patience look like. And, you know, for me, you know, being on the front end of things from 15, nobody ever really got to see my struggle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always just me on the TV screen, so it just looked like life was handed to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, things happened overnight, and it wasn't that. And I think that I'm a true testament to, you know, the fact that I never gave up. Always remained a hustler, always remained hungry, always remained humble. Hopefully, what people can take away from this in my career is patience and to keep going, and knowing that, you know, something that make you sad doesn't mean it's the end of the world, you know? And also just going into it knowing that in this life, just be willing and ready to accept apologies that you've never gotten, you know? And I think that's where I am. And like, even just down with the conversation, like, I know I want to have the conversation, but I've accepted the apology a long time ago.
Before you even get it.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I'm able to blossom, and I'm able to continue to move gracefully, and I'm able to be blessed and have a great relationship with God. You know what I'm saying? Continue to have a great heart, and to continue to walk on my path and just understand and take things for what it is.
And continue to use your gift, because clearly you're not going nowhere.
Yeah,
Clearly,
like
no
now,
matter what happens, you're not going nowhere.
Exactly. And now I'm in a space where I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, working with a lot of the new girls coming up, and they're just like, it's great because I'm catching them early. So now I can instill in them, you know, what wasn't necessarily instilled in me, something that I had to like learn myself. Like I said, learn from like a little bit of it from, you know, Beyonce. Like what I do is I choose to hold on to the positive rather than hold on to the negative. So even though it was way more just like fake woman empowerment, it's just a little tiny bit of Beyonce. I always just carry that little tiny bit of Beyonce.
Nothing about Beyonce is a little bit. You got the grit. You got
But what I'm saying is, one person, one female showing you love versus 1,000 females showing fake woman empowerment, that anybody will fold and anybody will get caught up in that. So what I'm saying is I took my Beyonce chunk rather than taking this big ass mountain. You feel what I'm saying? Like I took this one rock with me.
Does she know how much that she means?
This is my first time. This is my first time really expressing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and every time me and Beyonce like see one another, like it's always like when we're out, but like Beyonce will have her security say, "Hey, Beyonce wants you." Like she always makes sure I have like my private time to really just kind of like chop it up. But because I'm an artist myself, I ain't gonna front. I'm the person where like I don't overstay my welcome. So I know sometimes it might come across as like, well, damn, bitch, you leaving already? But for me, I don't, you know, like.
Yeah, I do know, actually.
I do how I want to be treated on top of the fact that, bitch, you are still Beyonce. Like, I'm not about to be talking your ear off. Like, I'm so shy, and I'm not a pestiferous person. Like, I would think any little thing is being like a pest. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just like, she asked me how I'm doing, and like, and we really chop it up, and she knows everything. You know what I'm saying? I love that. Every time I see her, she's embracing me about something else that I did, and I'm like, well, girl, it was just a little commercial. You feel what I'm saying? But for her, it's a big thing to her. She watched me grow up. You feel what I'm saying? So to go from this 15-year-old girl she met to a mother or a wife, and you know, like she's really proud of that. So like I said, carrying that one rock with me is played a big part. Beside my mom and, you know, the other women in my life played a big part in my grace and how I move within the industry. Like she taught me to invest in myself. Like when I went to her concert, she had a whole bunch of meet and greets to do, but she really took out the time and was just like, yo, T, like, I see how you perform. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to invest in yourself, and I take out my own money and da-da-da-da-da-da. From there, you couldn't tell me nothing about my performances. I put whatever I needed to put into my performances. And even just like, whatever you need, call me. I'm never gonna call. You feel me? Like, I'm just not gonna do that. You feel me?
I hope she knows the rock that she has been in your life.
She's been a rock throughout my career.
Oscars? Will we come back after the Oscars? Can I get
Can you go for an EGOT?
An EGOT? Yes.
Yeah,
why not? If not you, then who?
I need all the trophies. But I'm grateful for even a nomination.
I just love that she hasn't lost any of that.
Yeah, you know?
No, get the
nomination. I'm down with that. But yeah, we're gonna claim it. We're gonna manifest all the gold.
EGOT. Thank you to our guest, the future EGOT winner, Teyana Taylor. Thank you, love.